Good morning. It's Sunday, January 29th. We're going to take a quick review and a look ahead at next week. As always, my posts are for informational purposes only, so be sure you're trading your plan. But just to show you a little bit about how I operate, I like to look at the slope of the 22 bar EMA and also the MACD, and together I'll put those into a signal both weekly and daily. And again, this is for me. I mean, you guys trade your plan, but I find that this usually keeps me out of trouble anyway. Like for instance, on the SPY, we might have we see things are in a weekly uptrend, so we have a buy signal. The daily could be a buy also, and that's why my mindset going into at least Monday would be on the buy side. When things are neutral, they're neutral. And the only thing to show you with a sell signal right now is kind of the XRT with retail. I mean, that's just my mindset would be selling. I wouldn't be loading up on it to the long side anyway. That being said, let's move and take a look at the major indexes. So as noted, the SPY had a strong week here again. The MACD strength continues there as well. Over on the daily, we've had two strong days, followed by 2 days of digestion. A pullback to fill that gap area of 228 would be ideal. It wouldn't be a terrible thing. We'll just have to see how things go with that. The Qs had another strong week. We look on the daily on the Qs, the 125 area here now has a base, and that's also the 5-day moving average. And the Dow is kind of sitting up here. It made its milestone, and it's just kind of sitting here. MACD is neutral. Over here on the small caps, we got a range of 134 to 138. The digestion was a little heavier here over the past 2 days. The 22-day area would be around 135.44. Again, the MACD is neutral. Around the world, we have the EFA that we're looking for a breakout here. I mean, it could just fall back in the range, but the MACD is favorable. On the daily, on the EFA, filling that gap wouldn't be a terrible thing. 11 days at 59.61. The emerging markets on the weekly, we see we're heading into that top range resistance area there as well. However, the MACD is looking to cross. So on the daily there, I mean, the 11-day is around 37, and that would still be within a base, see, because we have day 1, 2, 3, subtract 2, puts the base right down here at Fibonacci. The MACD does favor higher. USO oil touched the 50-week before it returned back up to Fibonacci here. We're kind of back to neutral on the MACD. Gold weekly is not one of the prettiest candles I've seen, but it is holding that 5 and 11 week moving average with the MACD trying to cross here. But what's interesting, if you flip to the daily on gold, while we did close at the 22-day, we at least have to note a little bit of warning here in the MACD. Biotech has been in the doghouse lately, but did manage to close in the middle of the range with a little hammer here even. MACD still neutral. A tight base is formed on it here in the daily, just a little bit above 270. Looking at energy stocks, they closed at the 11-week EMA, and we can see that's at the 50-day. I mean, here it looked like we were really going to start taken off and Chevron reported and blah blah. But we're still at the 50-day. MACD is still trying to cross a little bit there. Taking a look at consumer staples. On the weekly chart, we gave some back, but still closed above that moving average cluster. The MACD still favorable. On the daily, you can see it. I mean, it really took a nice little break here. Came down and tested the 22-day and a Fibonacci area. MACD is still pretty fair. Also, a few daily charts of note would be technology, which is still strong. Consumer discretionary stuff is still strong, holding that 5-day. And retail kind of took a dump, but did fill that gap there. So we'll see what happens here at Fibonacci. I'm not really touching it at the moment. So that will do it for this weekend's video. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Whitley Trading. Emails can be sent to jimwhitleytrading@gmail.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a wonderful week ahead.